Hello. Check 1 2 3. 1 2 3. There are still seats available down front. There are still 5 open seats down front here, so come on down. Don't be shy. So, good morning and welcome. It is my privilege and my honor to be here today with you on this special event that we have each year to honor the best of our faculty. At Lyon College, the faculty are the beating heart of this institution. Even though it may not be the same people through the years, the spirit of the faculty continues for all nearly 153 years of this institution. We can all be thankful to the family of Lamar Williamson. You can read more about it in your program, for establishing the Lamar Williamson Prize for Faculty Excellence to recognize the best among our faculty. We should also thank his family for continuing to support this important recognition. In recent years, the Lamar Williamson Prize has been further supported by Carol and James Williamson of Van Buren, so that over the past 12 or 15 years or so, the amount of the stipend which the winner receives each year has more than doubled to $2,500. So we're thankful for them. The Lamar Williamson Prize is the top award that we present to our faculty. It recognizes professional competence, scholarly ability, the exemplification of humane and Christian values, and contribution to the community. I'm pleased to be here with you to recognize the 2024 recipient of that award as Dr. Monica Rodriguez, Associate Professor of Spanish. In preparing for today, I thought, well, let me come up with some words to say. But as I started to try to do it, I recognized that there was nothing I could write down, nothing I could say up here that would be better than telling you what some of the people who nominated her for this award had to say. I won't give any names. But I will say there were multiple people who contributed to this nomination, and that tells you something right there. So here we go, and these are quotes or near quotes. She is a person of unimpeachable character and a sterling academic. Speaking as a former colleague of hers, a nominator said, "She served as my colleague, mentor, advocate, and most importantly, my friend. She graciously provided me with encouragement and helpful advice. Rather than being an overbearing professor with seniority, she kindly gave me my own space and autonomy." Said some of her former students, "Of all the professors I studied under, Dr. Rodriguez was perhaps the most engaged with her students. I enjoyed my Spanish class so much with Dr. Rodriguez that I became a Spanish minor. She continuously inspired me to leave my comfort zone, from getting out of my dorm to attending Spanish club meetings as a freshman, to encouraging me to travel, to helping me get set up to teach English as a second language. Dr. Rodriguez, more than any other professor, has encouraged Lions engagement abroad. She inspired me to travel to Spain to study Spanish, to travel to her home company of Peru on a Nichols trip. She always supported and encouraged my goals, from studying abroad to attending professional school, giving me the confidence to succeed. Her passion for research is contagious in the classroom. Her scholarship truly bridges the scholar-teacher model. Her work enlightens, inspires, and expands previous knowledge while highlighting the contribution of Latino writers, artists, and filmmakers in the United States. Dr. Rodriguez has consistently demonstrated a deep concern and interest in the well-being of her community. Her love of animals and her years of support of the Humane Society of Independence County, and of course, people also talked about her work with Habitat for Humanity, was it?
No, it was Family Violence.
That's right, Family Violence Prevention Center, where she also served as a board member. She has been an inspiration and source of encouragement in my life for years. Dr. Rodriguez is synonymous with an excellence in teaching and loyalty to the college and the community that it serves. And to finish up, I can't think of better words than this, a quote from a nominator: "I can't think of a Lyon professor who cares more about her students and community than Dr. Rodriguez, or a more worthy recipient of the 2024 Williamson Prize." Dr. Rodriguez, come on up.
Well, thank you, Dr. Grafton, and thank you to the committee for selecting me as the 2024 Williamson Award winner. Well, and also thanks all of you for being here today. Before I begin my talk, I wanted to talk a little bit about myself and the work that I've been doing here at Lion. So I'm an immigrant. I came from Lima, Peru, and I'm the youngest in my family. My family is still in Peru, except for my dad who passed away a few years ago. People always ask me what I miss the most about Peru, and I'm gonna have to say that is, besides my family and the food, is the ocean. No, this is my favorite place actually in Peru. There is a shopping center where you can look down the beach. That always brings me good memories. Okay, so I came from Peru. I was looking for a good education. So I applied to many schools, and I'm really grateful to have a full tuition scholarship at Berea College. Berea College is a small liberal arts in Kentucky. It's very similar actually to Lion. I had a good education, I had good teachers, and I had good mentors. No, and I have to name my mentor, Dr. Schneier. She was my ESL teacher, no? And we have remained friends since then. Also, I have to say thanks to the University of Kentucky because they gave me a tuition scholarship, a teaching assistantship to do my PhD. And in particular to my dissertation director, Dr. Reedy, who loves Peru as much as I do, and Dr. Dendel, who was a great friend, and also from whom I learned everything about peninsular literature. Both of them, a few years, they have passed away. And finally, I want to say thank you to Lion College because when I came here, I was still working on my doctoral dissertation. So I was an ABD. So this was actually, Lion gave me a great chance to start my career. Okay. People also ask me, why have you been here for so long? I've been here for 23 years. So, and then when they ask me that question, I say that it's because of my students, no? So here I had pictures of my first graduates, and who's actually I couldn't be prouder of. I have my study abroad students who were brave enough to spend a semester abroad. And I also have my current students. Here is my double majors and minors in Spanish, who with me are part of this class that is about food and culture. Also, because all the students who follow me to Peru on my Nichols trips in 2009, 2012, and 2018, the students that also came with me to Spain in 2015, and the students in the Sigma Delta Pi, the Spanish Honor Society. We established a chapter in 2003, and with them, we sponsor cultural events on campus, like the Dia de los Muertos, Cinco de Mayo, but we also promote cultural exchange. My classes visit the ESL classes at UCCB. We also participate at Amigos Fest and participate in language exchange. So to all of them, thank you, because that's why I'm still here. Okay, so my topic today is about the Latin communities in the United States. The Latin community is the largest ethnic group. The population is 65.2 million. In 2023, that's kind of like the 18 or 19% of the whole population. The Latin population in Arkansas is a little over 200,000, at least up to 2020, and kind of like equals the 8.5% of the state population. Now, out of these 235, 80, 50, 50% of them are first generation at least here in Arkansas. So as other immigrant groups, they feel the need to assimilate. So they feel the need to like leave behind their cultural roots and fully embrace their new home. That means to adopt the new languages, fully embrace the English language, and also the cultural and social norms. But when this happened, this happened usually over time, and it's in response to pressure from the dominant culture, and also is done because it brings people peace and they feel safe. So conformity is seen as a solution. However, there are consequences of this. One of them is the loss of language. The loss of language is an important part of the cultural identity because it allows you to communicate with the community, and also is the carrier of the cultural heritage. So losing the language is a problem, but also, I'm sorry. And here on this chart, you can see that from 1980 to 2022, here among USA-born Latinos, there has been an increase in language proficiency, but a significant decrease in the Spanish proficiency. So this is evidence that the more recent generation are getting less proficient in Spanish. Okay. So besides the loss of language, also there is effect on mental health. And there is a lot of psychological stress that leads to mental illness. For example, the Puerto Rican community have a higher rate of mental and personality disorders than the USA, the average USA. And then one of the main diagnoses is schizophrenia. And so in an upcoming book chapter, I talk about this film. It's called La Fonda Azul, or The Blue Diner. So The Blue Diner, nobody knows about this film, right? Because it's kind of like an independent film, and it's produced through a grant. Although it was, it received some awards, pretty much nobody knows about it. And this film tells the story of a community of immigrants in the United States. And it was done by a Puerto Rican producer and her husband. And one of what she was looking for is to tell a real stories of people. Make a movie that doesn't stereotype Latins. Usually Latins are all about violence, or they are killers, or burglars, so drug dealers. So she wanted to make something different that shows them as real people. And in her own words, I'm gonna quote here, her movie is about fear of losing yourself. Profoundly, it's about holding on, assimilating, integrating, but not assimilating. So in this movie, the Blue Diner is kind of like a special place. It's like a safe haven for immigrants. And then here, this place, it says se habla inglés. It's the opposite of what you find at American restaurants, where you find a sign that says, in Spanish is spoken. This place, on the contrary, it's English is spoken. So in this place, the community get together, to speak Spanish, but also to enjoy their native dishes. The cast of this movie are actually Latin actors. And they represent different communities. Meche and Elena are from Puerto Rico, Papo is from Cuba, and Tito is from Mexico. So at the diner, besides eating their native dishes, they can also speak Spanish, but also they can engage socially, and that being able to do that reinforces their identity. So Tito, for example, he's from Mexico, and he's seeking an artist visa. So he has an immigration lawyer who tells him that his chance to get an artist visa is really slim. That it's extremely hard to get an artist visa. But it would be easier if he marries somebody, and he would get then the residency. Meche is first generation Puerto Rican, and she works at a museum as a janitor. The problem with Puerto Ricans when they arrive to the United States is that they were not able to transfer their skills, their work skills. So, and because of that, most of them end up working at factories, at restaurants, or working as janitors. So for her, she's trying to forget. She's trying to forget because she is ready to start a new life in the United States, so he wants to leave everything behind. But on the other hand, the second generation, which is her daughter, she's trying to remember. So they came from Puerto Rico, but she still remembers the music, the memories, and she tries hard not to forget. So her mom wants her to marry a white guy, so she can fully assimilate to society, but she's really in love with Tito, who's Mexican. So they argue a lot about that in the movie. And the mom, she really thinks that English is better because she feels like, she really doesn't like the work that she does at the museum. So, but she says that it's all good as far as her daughter gets more opportunities, a better education. So she is happy with that, with her life. But because her knowledge of English is limited, she depends a lot on the daughter, on Elena, and for translation, and also getting by sometimes, like taking a bus and not knowing where the next stop is. So, and also at work, she suffers discrimination. So all this causes that Elena suffers from aphasia. So Aphasia, it's like a stroke that happens on the left side of the brain. And so when somebody wakes up from aphasia, sometimes speaks foreign language or with a foreign accent, or if you are bilingual, you forget your your mother tongue, but you remember your second language, or vice versa. No? So in this case, Elena loses her Spanish. She can't speak Spanish anymore. And this creates a big problem in the community because the mother and the daughter can no longer communicate and they separate. So when this happens, no, they go to the diner. No? They go to the diner because at the diner, they find a community, they find support, and they find help. So here, and talking about food, and so I have made something for you today. It's here, and yeah, it's hot, and it's real food actually, so it's not fake. I have food. So the question is, what's on the menu? No? What's there? Well, I have made for you a delicious cow's brain soup. Okay, oh, it's a sesame soup, no? Sesame soup. So who wants to try? Anybody? Probably not, right? So I have to talk a little bit about offal meat in the United States. You know that, so it says that it is always being something a little roughish about eating organ meat in the States, the growing American economy and standards for what meat should be, which ties into mass production of food in America. So when people go to the supermarket, they shop for other parts of the animal that cook better, no? And these organ meats usually, because nobody buys them, so the price is really low, and it has been, it's connected with poverty, no? And also, it has racial connotations, as the enslaved used to prepare dishes with offal meat to eat. No? So the offal meats are the unwanted parts of the animal that usually were given to, like I said, the people, and, okay, this is, sorry. So, and this is not something that is common in the Hispanic world. For example, here in Peru, we have Peruvian anticuchos, that's grilled cow's heart, no? This is one of my favorite food when I was growing up in Peru. And there are so many other dishes that are made out of organ food, okay, organ meat. Okay, so here the offal meat in the United States, like I said, they have negative connotations and also racial connotations. And so, let's see. So what they do at the diner, Papo hides sesame dishes, in the dishes. So, for example, here the cook, who is a banker, fits the banquet as Cesus dish, no? So the customers really don't know what it is. They are just being served food, and they look at it and say, yeah, sure, no, good. And the same happened with the lawyer, no, the immigration lawyer. Here, no, this is the immigration lawyer, also eating food. And this, oops. Oh. And the video, I have to play it. I don't know. Ah, that's
The thing with brains is most people don't like to eat them. They don't like the idea. Well, not here anyway, but back where I come from, in Cuba, the ancestors everywhere. Remostados, in stews, in omelets, with rice. And the way they do it, they try to disguise them so people don't get grossed out. I'm not with. It's an art.
Okay, so, oops, sorry. Okay, so no, so we can say like there is really actually power in food, no, because as the quote says, around the world, foods are both eaten and avoided in the name of racial and ethnic identity, and also food has an intimate link to political and economic power. Another quote says that food discourses and practices have subversive potential to counter hegemonic structure and neo-colonial discourses. So here, no? So here, no, here in this movie, no, it highlights really the importance of preserving your heritage, language, and cultural identity. Elena eventually, sorry, lo siento, okay. So Elena, what happened to Elena is like she eventually recovers her Spanish slowly, but the key for her to recover her Spanish is to reconcile her two words, the Puerto Rican and the American. And let's see, I forgot. What else? Sorry about this. Okay, and also for this community to remain together, no, and it's necessary to remain bicultural and bilingual. And then the act of force feeding, offal food to American customers, in a way, is the same way that immigrants are force fed American culture. So by disguising these brains in dishes and the customer not knowing what it is or what they are eating, they are the ones that are being force fed Hispanic culture, no? Latin culture. Huh? So, and okay, and then what else happens here? Okay, so Papu, as I said before, Papa wants her loan needs a commercial loan to buy the diner. No, but he thinks he's not gonna get it. No, that his chances to get that loan are really small. The same as Tito, who thinks that his chances to get an artist visa are small. So, and then also Meche feels like she has no way to change her life. No, this is what she has to do, or the sacrifices that she has to make in order of Elena to have a better life. So in the end, like I said, there is, thanks to the Blue Diner and thanks to the community, Elena is able to recover her Spanish eventually, and she leaves the the white guy, the Brian, his name is Ryan, and he hooks up with Tito. Papo gets his loan, and Tito also gets his visa. No? The way he gets his visa is interesting because he creates a distraction at a museum so he can sneak in one of his paintings. When the critics look at the paintings, they like it, so they have to give him a visa, artist visa. No? So the people in this community have to find ways to try to achieve their dreams, like having a diner, getting an artist visa, and the food at the diner, and the food being served has a lot to do with it. Okay, anybody wants to try my brain soup? You do? See? Okay.
I've eaten brains before.
It's actually, well, this is it. It's actually not brains because brains are not sold in the United States.
Thank you.
Yeah, I sold out. Sold out. So actually that is picadillo, which is a Cuban dish. Okay? So now it's time for questions. Anybody has any questions?
I have a curious question. I was wondering, I'm from Canada originally, and a lot of like Australia and stuff. Does Latinx have similar friendships when they come to the United States, or camaraderie, or is it very similar culturally, or is it different? Because I'm not 100% sure it's a different culture.
You mean that
If someone from Peru or Argentina come, they have very similar histories, I guess.
yeah, we have a similar history, but also we are different, The food itself, for example, is different. But like we say, like we watch on the movies, like here in the United States, the community of immigrants come together. So despite the differences sometimes in the pronunciation, the vocabulary, so they can unite, despite difference. That's it. So I actually have met people from different Hispanic countries. When I was at the University of Kentucky, I was able to work with people from Spain, from Ecuador, from Mexico, from different Latin countries, and that I was not able to meet when I was back home in Peru. And I think it's like I said, it's the difference are not reflected in food, in the way of speaking, but in the end, I think we share the same background, no? The same. Mhm. Okay.
Do any of the local Mexican restaurants have boba? I just missed it on there.
Well, actually, I think if you I think if you go to Doña Chuy, you know that is on next to Las Playitas, I think you can get menudo soup that is made out of intestines, the cow's intestines. There is, I don't know, maybe somewhere else in Little Rock, but I think at least in Doña Chuy they have a few native dishes. Stephanie?
The aphasia is such an interesting metaphor that you bring up. Have you experienced after living so many years here, when you go back to Peru, like does your family say, what happened to your Peruvian,
Yes, yeah. A lot of people feel like they don't belong in any communities. So, but in my case, I don't know, since all my family is back home in Peru, so then I feel more Peruvian than actually Americans. So, but yeah, they can tell that my accent have changed. I don't actually know what accents I have right now. Probably it's a combination of a lot of influences and experience. But yeah, I think the aphasia is kind of like the physical manifestation of the internal conflicts. What you have to, you have in front of you your future, in the American society, but in them also you have memories of your past, and so those two, people struggle to maintain, but in a way, as we see it, they feel kind of like they have to give up. I was going to say, for example, at the schools, that when the kids go to school, they have to learn English. So they go to these special ESL classes to help them learn English. However, nothing is done about, continuing with their Spanish, having them take a cultural class, or maybe placing them in other classes where they can continue learning about the history, and the culture of the diverse Latin world. So I think the problem is that since that is not seen as important, so there is little done about it. So if on the other side, they would appreciate more that these people are bicultural, and bilingual, then there would be a little more respect and also more appreciation for the diversity that they bring to the American culture. Dr. Matt.
I wanted to ask if you've seen, sort of here in Batesville, especially since you've been here for a fairly long time, what are some of the things that the community here uses to resist assimilation, or sort of kind of these important cultural elements or social organizations, and if those have changed over time as the Latino population has grown?
Yeah, here in Arkansas, for example, we have places where they can eat their native food, right? And we've seen here in Batesville a lot of food trucks. Also, there are Latino newspapers, not here, but more in Little Rock. No, there are organizations, no, just one of women or Latins. And so, yeah, I think there are efforts to keep their identity, but also there are other aspects of the culture where they feel that it's better for them if they hide their background so that they can have better opportunities when they apply for a job and they are not changed in this, no, or when they apply for perhaps a good job, no. So, and that's why that's why it's important, I think, to keep doing these things. I don't know about the future. I'm a little worried about it, but I hope that the community continue doing things to keep the language and their identity. Hmm? I cannot hear very well. Can you pass the microphone, please?
Was Elena's mom happy that she regained the language, or was she upset?
I think Elena was happy that she found out what her identity is. You know, she's never gonna stop being Puerto Rican. She's gonna, she can't forget it. She has to embrace it, no? And so, and then because of the support of the community, she's able to do that. So I think I cannot talk more about the importance of having a community, a supporting community. Like I feel I have a community here, for example, a community of friends, of colleagues, and I have my own immigrant community here at Lyon.
So before we take care of the last part of today's event, let's give her a round of applause.
Yeah, thank you.
At this time, I would ask President Dr. Melissa Tavener to come to the stage and help do the official presentation.
Thank you, Monica. This is probably one of the best days of the academic year, where we actually get to pause and learn not just about our colleagues and what they do, but to remember, as Dr. Grafton said, that all of the good that comes here, all the good that goes on in the classroom, it comes from the faculty. And to be able to celebrate faculty members one at a time this is number 45. That's kind of awesome. That's a track record of excellence that, you know, we should all be proud of. So thank you for today. Not going to try the soup, but thank you. But very proud of you and proud of all the faculty and the work that you do. So thank you. Now, it is my great pleasure. Do you have the check?
I do.
Okay. Does she? Did she have the cup? Oh, no. We have to have a picture with the big silver thing. Oh. But you didn't have to drag it over here.
Stage. Let's get you to stand between us.
Yes. Yeah, there. Okay.